Okay, welcome everybody. This is John Alexandrov. According to my screen, we're right at the top of the hour, so we're going to get started. We appreciate you being here today. Okay, so let's start with an honest assessment. We mentioned about doing an honest assessment with ourselves. So here are some questions that I would ask you to just kind of run through your mind right now. You know, what are your money tendencies and what are the patterns and habits that repeat themselves in your life? So those of you who know me and know me well know that I'm a very transparent person. I mean, I tell it like it is, and I'm not afraid to tell you, what has happened in my past and where I'm going in the future. I noticed at one point in time that I had a tendency that whenever I got to about $5,000 in a savings account or an investment account, that all of a sudden it would disappear. An emergency would happen, I would make a bad choice, I would lend the money to somebody else who wouldn't pay me back, whatever. It doesn't really matter how that happened, but the why it happened was important. I had made a joint investment with a good friend of mine's money many, many years ago, and it was a $5,000 investment. And we lost the entire $5,000. And over time I realized that because of the guilt that I was carrying about that whenever I got to this level where I had an extra $5,000, somehow, subconsciously, I would find a way to create the circumstances to lose it. And that pattern happened for me over and over and over again until I brought it to the forefront, addressed it, and move on. Do you hit highs and lows all over again? Are you uncomfortable if you are free of debt? Now that might sound like a strange question, but many of the people that I have worked with in the past and are currently working with are uncomfortable if they're debt-free. And that's because they've never been debt-free, and it feels very uncomfortable to them. It's almost like an attack on their personality or an attack on who they are. And again, if you're experiencing that, we can help you with that. Always giving money to others or financially supporting others, constantly behind on your taxes. Income hits a ceiling which you can't break through. You can only earn money when you're under pressure. That's a really interesting one. That is a paradigm that we see quite a bit with entrepreneurs, only being able to earn money when they're under pressure. You can save to a certain level and then you deplete the account. And that's called a financial set point. And I see this in terms of income too, where people will hit a certain income level year after year after year, and they have a financial set point in their mind that that's really what they're worth or that's what they deserve. One of the comments or one of the phrases that went on the marketing materials was to ask yourself, do I deserve to be wealthy? And it is absolutely amazing what runs through some people's minds when they say to themselves, well, do I deserve to be wealthy? Or if I ask them to use the affirmation, I deserve to be wealthy, some people actually panic over that. And there's a few reasons for that. One is you may not have a definition of what wealth really means to you. And second of all, because of that familiarity, because of your family heritage or faith or culture or community or all of those things wrapped together, you were probably trained at some point in time that you don't deserve to be wealthy. That really you would be a better person if you didn't have the money rather than having the money. Now we're not going to get into all the details as to where that came from. However, that does happen for many people. Now, here's a great one, or one that I see quite a bit as well, is no amount of money is enough. In other words, I see people sometimes who they earn $50,000 and they say, well, if I was only earning $100,000, everything would be okay. And then they get to 100, and all of a sudden their debt has gone higher, and they're thinking, well, I thought if I was making 100 rather than 50, everything would be fine. And it doesn't work for them. And then they go from 100 to 200, and their financial situation gets even worse. So for some people, no amount of money is enough. They always need more. And then that's another paradigm, that's another cycle in some people's minds that we help them break. Because it's not that that no amount of money is enough, it's incongruent thinking and being willing to make the proper choices with the money versus no amount, I just need more. And most people think, well, I just need more, well, I just need more, well, I just need more. And for many people who are in that I just need more mentality, if they don't retrain their subconscious mind to make the right decisions with the money, they actually will just keep increasing their debt levels to the point where even though they have made more money, they're probably further and further into debt. spend money or incur debt with the expectation of future income. We see that quite a bit. And then always chasing after money. Now, some of you may have experienced, or are experiencing all of those, some of those, one of those. However, you're on this call or on this webinar today for a reason. Something in the materials hit you, internally, where you said, well, I've got to be there and hear about this because there's something about my financial life that I'm really not fully happy with, or not fully confident in, or I can't figure out on my own. And for some of you, all of these things are going to apply. For some of you, it may be one or two. But even if it's only one or two for you, we have to address that issue, weed it out, and get it out of your mind. Because if not, you will continue to stay in whatever pattern you're in as well. So I'm urging you, and I'm inviting you to go ahead and to join the program. This process works. The key question is if you're the type of person who's going to work the process with me.